The 5 biggest lies that you have been told about studying in the USA, and in this video we're gonna uncover all those lies. Hey guys, my name is Yash and I've been helping thousands of students get to countries like the United States and actually the United States as well in the past 4 years. And in this video I'm going to be clarifying all of those 5 lies that people have told you about studying in the USA. These lies are things that you come across day by day, and they can certainly make you think that studying in USA is very easy, or they can make you think that studying in US is actually something that you simply cannot do or afford. Well, in this video we're going to uncover all of them. The first one that you have been told is that studying in USA is only for the rich. The richest people can go ahead and study in the US. It's not possible for you. Don't even think about it. And this was a misconception even I used to have. In fact, my parents didn't send me over there for my bachelor's just because we thought that it is not possible for us financially. Well, let me tell you, the education in the US can actually go from as low as $15,000 per annum. You can convert that into your own currency and you will find that it's not a very hefty amount as compared to what colleges would be charging in your country. If you want, you can search for such universities with low tuition directly on the YMGrad app. Just go ahead, select United States, and you'll be able to see all universities charging below $15,000 when you select that as the tuition filter. On top of that, let me tell you this. If you are going to the state of Texas, if you're flexible and you can go to the state of Texas, well, go ahead then, because first off, the universities are already pretty cheap over there. Secondly, there's a rule by the state of Texas that, hey, look, if you can just get $1,000 scholarship from the university, just $1,000 scholarship, trust me, which is very easy to get in these universities. And these universities know why it is so, and that's why sometimes they also give you $1,000 scholarship when you are getting an admission over there. So let's say if you are able to get that $1,000 scholarship, you will be eligible to pay in-state tuition. What does that mean? Instead of maybe $20,000 in fee that they have to charge an international student, they would now be charging you just $10,000. Yes, tuition can be as low as $10,000 per year just in the state of Texas if you are able to get that $1,000 off your tuition, if you can just get that funding. And of course, then you are paying almost half, because in-state tuition is actually half of almost what you pay as an international student. Apart from that, you do get to work part-time. Now it depends on your status, but on the first year you may just be working on campus, but later on you can actually work outside campus as well. You have a certain number of hours. Let's not get into the details, but at the same point of time you can work part-time and you can support yourself and your living expenses, and your rent and all of that can be covered by those if you're actually working rigorously. And finally, even after that, if you feel that, hey, look, this is still not possible for me, I don't think I have $10,000 or $15,000 in the bank just sitting, well, that's something that the banks can actually sort out for you. You can take up a loan for that amount, and trust me, with that amount of a loan, that is still a very low amount. Even if you're going up to $15,000-$30,000 maybe for 2 years, it's a very low amount, and all you have to do is basically complete your education, be religious about it, and as soon as you pass out, you get a decent job, within a year you can actually pay off that amount. Trust me. So that was the first myth busted for you. The second one is that getting a job in the US is next to impossible for internationals. Well, let me tell you the first thing over here. You need to get the skill set. A lot of you guys who don't have the skills, yes, it's going to be difficult. You have to spend time, you have to get better, and you have to gain the skill set first. After that, you will see that the job search can be very, very easy. In fact, it may even be easier than the job search in your own country in a lot of cases, just because the opportunities in the US are far more. However, you have to keep in mind that when you are selecting a university for yourself, you want to go to the area which offers the maximum job opportunities for your profile. What that means is search for an area where the supply of jobs for your field is actually much greater than the demand of those jobs. And that means that when the supply demand ratio is kind of shifted in your favor, you can actually go ahead and easily fetch a job. Finally, the key to job search in the US is to network, network, and network. You want to do it as much as possible. I would spend 1 to 2 hours on websites like LinkedIn every single day. Finally, don't get me started, but you will be surprised at the kind of people who can make it to the United States. You may not even have thought that, look, this guy can actually go ahead and study in the US and actually be successful over there. You will have literally seen people that simply were not able to do well in their own country, but they're doing very well in the US. Why? It's simply because they got serious. It's not that they did not have the capability, it's not that you don't have the capability. They may be performing worse than you in the job that you're working right now, but they can actually go ahead and settle down there just because they choose to take an initiative and you did not. So go ahead, don't be scared of that. Point number 3 is that getting the green card is actually next to impossible. Well, let me tell you first off, getting a green card is hard, but it is not impossible. A lot of people I know are on a green card right now, and every year thousands of Indians get one. In fact, there are multiple pathways. You don't really have to choose the most chosen pathway, but that's just one of the dozens of pathways available to get a green card. Regardless, even without a green card in your pocket, you would still make a very decent bank, and you will basically collect a lot of cash just by working through your OPT and your H-1B if you're able to get one. And OPT is of course there for you. You will always have the OPT, 1 to 3 years of work just sitting there in the United States where you can build your bank up. But the worst case scenario, just in case you don't get an H-1B after that period, what do? You can actually simply apply to go to Canada. And a lot of employers would actually prefer workers who have either worked in the US or studied in the US, and that is of course going to be a huge edge you'll have over applicants from all over the world. Myth number 4 is that your grades are not good enough or you're too old to go to the United States. First off, to clarify, there is no such age requirement or GPA requirement to get to a US university. You can get an admit even with a 60% in your bachelor's degree or high school. It's as simple as that. And you can be 55 or 60 and you can still apply to go to the US on a student visa. And of course, not to mention, even if you have backlogs, we have still sent students to the United States. That's been my experience, and I'm telling you, it's possible. And even if you are someone who's starting in the process of maybe having a family, well, you have a spouse or a child, all of these people can actually come to the US with you on a dependent visa. Keep in mind that this will, however, raise your expenses. Myth number 5 is that studying in the US is easy. By no means is it easy, let me just tell you that. It's definitely easy to make it to the United States, but it's not easy to finish off with your education over there. It's not a piece of cake. It's not something that you can just go through by, copying assignments or basically not paying attention to your studies or, just working over there legally. That's not something that you're gonna do. You're gonna be away from your family. There's probably going to be debt involved, and a lot of times you may feel lonely. Apart from that, the competition, the job hunts, and the assignments are going to be extremely tough. So I wouldn't say that studying in the US is easy at all. Yet, all of these will help you grow a lot more than you could ever imagine, both financially and as a person. If you're willing to take the risk, go ahead. Because I like to think of it as a much better investment where you invest in yourself as compared to investing in real estate or stock markets where, you're not really investing in growing your knowledge. If you are someone who is in your 20s, in your 30s, this is actually a great opportunity for you. You don't want to miss out on it. It's not easy, but it's actually going to be worth the wait. It's actually going to be worth the hard work, and in the end, it will grow you more than you can imagine. Of course, go ahead, sign up onto the YMGrad application if you would like to hold hands with a lot of other students who are going through this journey just like you. For now, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more such content, and I'll see you in the next one.